Alright, man, peace. So, brothers, I've stated in previous videos that I've noticed Stephen A. Smith becoming more and more disrespectful and disregarding towards the legacy of Magic Johnson whenever he tries to appraise the overall great players in the history of the NBA and who he's going to put on his all-time starting five, so on and so forth. Well, Stephen A. Smith recently had a run-in with Magic Johnson at one of these All-Star Game shindigs, and Magic let it be known that he thought that what Stephen A. Smith was doing showed that he had a lack of basketball understanding and knowledge. The great Isiah Thomas happened to be an innocent bystander during that dust-up, and he came on the Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman show to roast Stephen A. Smith for what he witnessed. And in the process of doing that, he's also going to give a very good appraisal of the disparity between Magic Johnson and Steph Curry. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
His champagne Shoreline, it is phenomenal.
Yes. Oh, thank you for the plug.
Why are you here, man? Why are you here, man?
I'm here just to set the record straight about how you got abused last night, sitting at the table. Not by me, but by Magic Johnson.
It was bad.
And then you got.
And you deserved it too.
Then you got to tell people about the phone call you got at 3.
I got a phone call. I did Stephen's A-list yesterday in front of Max and Scottie Pippen, my all-time Stephen A. All-Star list. I had MJ, I had Steph Curry, I had Shaq, I had LeBron and Durant.
Yeah, what an asinine list.
And I got a call from somebody who will remain nameless, a GOAT, who will remain nameless, that just abused me. And then last night, at the Wayne Wade shindig, I didn't know Magic was there. I left him off the list. And
so you had to walk in the room where it happened?
It was bad.
I tried to tell him.
It was bad.
So in other words, Michael Jordan called you up at 3 o'clock and verbally abused you, and then Magic Johnson finished your dumb ass off.
I didn't know that Magic could jump on me like that.
Magic, Bird, and Hakeem.
He was laughing at me the whole time.
Bird and Hakeem.
I agree, sir. I agree with your list.
Say it with me. Magic, Bird, and Hakeem.
Agreed.
Hakeem on that list. You met the Magic that we play against last night. See, you used to dealing with the friendly, nice Magic smile. Oh, Stephen A. But when you met you met Irvin last night.
I will confess, I personally have never met that guy.
Well, you needed to, so that now you could treat him with more regard. Because the way that you and Max Kellerman talk about him sometimes, but especially you, makes somebody think that you have a personal issue with the man. This dude won 5 championships, revolutionized the game, and you're talking about him like he's nowhere near your list. I was like, what's wrong with this guy?
Until last night. Hey, Stephen A., all I'm trying to say is, I hear where you coming from.
And look, Steph Curry is phenomenal. First ballot Hall of Famer. But he's not the player that Magic Johnson was. He's just not.
From like, you just going to ignore this, and you just going to ignore that. Where's your basketball card? In public, with Pat Riley on his shoulder like this.
Yes. Hey.
I said, damn, this is a bad day.
It was a bad day.
It was a bad night.
And then he got up and dropped the mic on you. Walked away from the table.
Oh.
It was bad.
What'd you do?
What could I do? I couldn't say that's Magic Johnson.
No, it was Irvin.
It was Irvin. It was Irvin.
Magic could be on your show later.
Go ahead, Max.
I mean,
I'm still recovering.
What I didn't understand is even like you don't even have much more shooting with Steph, KD, and Shaq because Bird could shoot it, Hakeem could shoot it better than Shaq. Steph shoots it better than Magic, right? But fate of the universe, Game 7, Magic in his prime. I don't mean first couple of years Magic. I mean when he got a better shot.
You mean
Magic in his prime.
Absolutely, 1987 Magic is up there with any player who's ever played.
Game 7, clock ticking down. Who do you want taking the last shot? Who do you want with the ball in his hands your team's trying to win? Steph Curry, the greatest shooter ever, or Magic Johnson?
Let me say this very quickly before Isiah Thomas answers. Steph Curry at one time was arguably the best clutch shooter in the NBA. But ever since the 2016 finals, he has not been the same player in clutch moments. He just hasn't. Prior to that, he was the most dangerous shooter in the NBA in clutch moments. We all remember that classic shot that he hit against the OKC Thunder in Oklahoma City in a regular season game, and numerous other game-winning shots that he hit before that. I'm not quite sure if he's hit a game winner since that 2016 finals. He's not been the same player in the clutch. That series messed with him mentally.
Well, you asked the question, who do I want with their ball in the hands, right?
Well, no, that's not quite what he said. He said he's asking you, who do you want with the ball in their hands, not with their ball in their hands. There's a big difference there, Isiah.
And that's Magic Johnson. And the reason why it's Magic Johnson, because, either he's going to get a good shot for himself, but 9 times out of 10, he's going to make a better shot for someone else. He's going to make the right play. He's the smartest player I've ever played against. And, in terms of reading the defense, understanding the defense,
Well, he and Bird definitely have the highest basketball IQs of any players I've ever seen.
If Tom Brady is the quarterback, the smartest quarterback in the game right now, then Magic Johnson, when we were playing, definitely was the smartest player.
Is LeBron the name that comes to mind when a question is asked who reminds you most of Magic Johnson today, or is there somebody else?
He would probably be the closest thing, but he scores the basketball at a phenomenal rate, much more than Magic Johnson did. His passing ability is similar to Magic. His understanding and his intelligence of the game is similar to Magic. However, the only thing that I say about LeBron James that's different than any other NBA player that we're talking about in terms of GOATs, I still don't know where this dude learned how to play basketball.
Isiah Thomas, you need to stop that bullshit. Because he loved to say this nonsense about how he don't know where LeBron James learned how to play basketball. Like LeBron just came out of the heavens with an understanding of basketball. We know where he learned how to play. 4 years in Miami taught him how to play championship level basketball. He learned from Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, and Dwayne Wade. That's who taught him how to play real championship level basketball. Now people could say, well, what about his championship run in 2007 when he got to the finals? LeBron James is a wonderkind. Everybody knows that. He's always been a wonderkind. But when it comes to winning basketball, he learned that in Miami.
Like, who was his coach?
Eric Spoelstra.
Okay, Magic Johnson played for Hall of Fame coaches. Michael Jordan played for Hall of Fame coaches. I played for Hall of Fame coaches. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played from Hall of Fame coaches. This dude came from high school, dropped out of nowhere, and I don't know how he got. I do not know where he got this basketball knowledge
Had
from.
he been with a truly great coach his whole career, he'd be even better, you would think, than he is.
Well, had he stayed in Miami, maybe he'd be a better player than what he's ultimately became. Because in Miami, they humbled him and they disciplined him and they forced him to accept team concepts. That's why Pat Riley recently came out and stated that he knew that their dynasty, their quote-unquote dynasty, was over when LeBron James left. Because had LeBron stayed and say they won 1 or 2 more championships, we'd be viewing Eric Spoelstra completely different. Eric Spoelstra was only able to win 2 championships with LeBron, so LeBron gets all the credit. Spoelstra gets none of the credit. But just the way in which he's been able to keep that team above water with LeBron James gone shows you how great of a coach Eric Spoelstra is.
But it is what it is. It happened how it happened.
The game has not done enough for LeBron James. And what I mean, from a coaching standpoint, the game has done him a disservice.
Bullshit. LeBron James has never given himself a chance to be properly coached. Every time he faces an authoritarian figure, he rejects them and wants to get them fired. Those are facts. He even wanted to get Eric Spoelstra fired. So LeBron James has done a disservice to coaches all across the NBA. Everybody knows it. When LeBron James comes onto your squad, you're about to lose your job. So stop it.
Because we had this phenomenal talent that wasn't coached by the greatest coaches ever.
Let me ask you this.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So when you look at LeBron, when you look at Kobe, when you look at Jordan, when you look at Shaq, hey, none of them guys ever won a championship until they met Phil Jackson.
That's very true. And LeBron James never won a championship until he met Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. And beyond that, if LeBron James really wanted to be coached by a great coach, he had his opportunity to go to San Antonio. LeBron James decided that he was going to go to a team coached by Luke Walton. And he can't say, I didn't know that Luke Walton was going to be the coach. Luke Walton had been coaching there prior to LeBron James getting there. So LeBron's track record shows that he does not like to be coached.
That's a good point.
No doubt. No, that's, I give Belichick a lot of credit for Brady, and who does Aaron Rodgers have? And he's the same thing with LeBron, and he's won championship. Let me ask you this. Why is it, do you think, that Larry Bird, because we were chopping it up before the show, Bird showed up on the Celtics in 79-80, before McHale, before Parrish, before anyone, joined a 29-win team, they add Bird 61-win team, just like that, won 3 championships, 3 consecutive MVPs in his prime. He's kind of forgotten in all this, and the other one is Hakeem, who I'm mentioning the guy Stephen A. left off the list.
The reason why Larry Bird is so forgotten is because he's not on TV anymore. So he does not remind people about how great a player he was before the injuries. Once again, he won 3 consecutive MVP awards. And there was a time period around 1987 where Larry Bird was considered the greatest player ever. They were trying to pump him up as the greatest player ever. And he actually had the accolades to back it up to a degree. Now, when he got injured and Magic Johnson was able to win back-to-back championships in 87 and 88. And by the way, that was prior to Larry Bird getting injured. So I'm not trying to take credit away from Magic. Larry Bird got injured during the 1988-89 season. My point being is this. Magic was able to leapfrog Larry Bird on the all-time greatest basketball players list in the late 80s. That's when Magic really started to make a lot of traction in how he was evaluated, or how he was being evaluated as an all-time great player.
Hakeem Olajuwon, as soon as Jordan retired, before he came back, it's like, well, parallel universe, who's the best player in the league? Hakeem went and got 2 chips. Why?
And probably did the most with the least of any great player in the history of the NBA. Hakeem Olajuwon probably did the most with the least amount of talent of any great player in the history of the NBA.
Why have people forgotten about Bird especially, and also Hakeem?
Because neither one of them are media mavens. Hakeem Olajuwon does not care about attention, neither does Larry Bird.
I think what has happened is when we talk about the greatest players to ever play, or the GOATs, it's basically relegated to the wing players. Those are the only players that really enter into discussion. And I don't know why it's been relegated to that position.
Well, I can't quite agree with that, because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has a lot of support. And I think that Isiah is trying to parlay this into the Michael Jordan is not the greatest of all time argument once again. Because Isiah really don't care who you consider to be the greatest player of all time, as long as it's not Jordan. That's his main thing. Just don't say Michael Jordan.
Because we discount the center position, and we discount the power forward position. But it's only the wing players now that is really in the discussion of the debate for the greatest players ever.
Well, that does not really account for Max Kellerman's question, because he asked you about Larry Bird. And Larry Bird was not a 4, he was a 3. And beyond that, once again, the reason why people don't remember or consider Larry Bird being a possible greatest player ever, or ranked as highly as he should be, is because, once again, he's not somebody who's all up in the cameras trying to campaign for himself like a LeBron James does. He's not somebody who throws all of his accolades in your face. Hakeem Olajuwon is somebody who is very comfortable and content just living in Houston, chilling out. He'll train certain players in the off season, but that's about it. He does not get on camera to talk about all of his accomplishments. But Hakeem Olajuwon was the second best player from the early to mid 90s. There's no doubt about that. Charles Barkley had his chance to stake his claim as being the second best player of that era, and he failed twice against Hakeem. So there's not much that you can say about that. But just going back to the GOAT conversation, many people have claimed that Kareem is the best. The issue with the centers is that most of the dominant centers who've been able to win, they were not able to win unless they were also with a great wing. So the conversation has always been, who's more important, a great wing or a great center? Other than Hakeem, how many great all-time centers have been able to win championships without a great wing? It's very, very difficult. Since the Jordan era, you've had more great wings who have won championships without dominant centers than you've had great centers win championships without dominant wings. So that's why the conversation leans more toward the wing players.
Here at All-Star Weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina, if you had to make a decision right now, you don't get to wait these last 25, 30 games.
I always ask these kind of questions, but okay.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I don't recall you poo-pooing my interviewing skills. You usually applaud them. Yeah. This is an interesting question.
Yeah, but you just have a way, ain't no wiggle room.
That's right. Ain't no wiggle room. So here's the deal. Let's ignore the next 25 games.
Isiah Thomas was so dominant, man. if he played today, he could easily average 25 and 11.
If you had to make a decision today, who's your league MVP? Harden, PG, Giannis, who? League MVP right now.
So
Right now, it has to be Giannis.
So I'm gonna put one more in the discussion.
Okay, please.
The Joker. I'm gonna put the Joker.
And that's a good entry because Jokic, he deserves some recognition. He's averaging almost a 20-point triple-double. His team is, I believe, second in the West right now. He deserves some recognition as well.
From Denver.
Okay.
The big boy. I'm gonna put him in the discussion.
Jokic, yeah.
Okay.
But if I had to make a decision right now, today, who I'm riding with, I'm gonna go with the Greek Freak.
Agreed.
Really?
No doubt.
Hold on.
You have to. He's having a dominant season, and his team has the best record.
Hold on. Let me tell you why I disagree.
Why?
Have you watched Paul George? Which you do because you with Kevin McHale, by the way, that's must-see television. Him and Kevin McHale on NBA TV breaking down NBA. Y'all got to watch these brothers.
Yeah, they're very entertaining. They both talk a lot of shit.
I'm just telling you, I love it, and I love McHale too. Here's the deal. PG Paul George is on another level right now.
Yeah.
And he's in the Western Conference.
Yes.
I'm going to ask again. You still going with the Greek Freak?
I like what the Greek Freak is doing. However, PG is playing next to a guy getting triple doubles every night. Right?
Okay.
So I admire what PG is doing, but I also admire what Westbrook is doing and taking a step back, changing his game, altering his game, so PG can have the explosion that he's having.
I agree with that. You do have to give Westbrook a lot of credit. He has the self-awareness, or at least a bit of self-awareness now to understand that he can't do the same things with PG that he did with Kevin Durant.
So it's a sacrifice, but Westbrook not only has made the sacrifice, but he's made his game a little bit better to tailor it to fit PG's style.
Can I not make the same argument about what Budenholzer has done for Milwaukee? Coach of the Year candidate with him and Nick McMillan? That's how Giannis has it not.
Well, you can't compare Nate McMillan and Coach Bud in terms of what they've done.
Okay.
Because Nate McMillan, in my opinion, has done a significantly much better job with less.
I agree.
Than.
Well, he's done a very good job this year, but I still can't forgive Nate McMillan for some of his faux pas in last year's playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers. They could have beat Cleveland if it were not for some of his strategic errors in crucial moments. He made a lot of mistakes down the stretch of that series.
It's amazing since Oladipo's gone down.
And then when you look what Nate McMillan did last year with the Pacers.
He's my coach of the year.
If you give Nate McMillan a Greek Freak with the Indiana Pacers, hey, it's
Another
a
level.
little different, yes.
Isaiah, it's so good to have you with us, and I also want to mention he'll be working with Mark Spears and NABJ, and you're going to be awarding a scholarship every year for sports and entertainment.
Thank you.
I applaud you for doing that. That's wonderful.
Support a brother on the next side.
No, you deserve to get destroyed. Stephen A. Smith looking at Isaiah Thomas talking about support a brother next time. No, you needed that. You needed to be humble. So now you can remember Magic Johnson whenever you compile these little lists and not make a damn fool of yourself. But anyway, peace.